Another massive news day for Bitcoin while the price remains kind of stuck in the doldrums. We have big news coming out of Russia where the central bank is once again proposing to ban freaking Bitcoin. We also have big news coming out of the US with credit unions looking to offer Bitcoin to customers. Big news coming out of Mexico as well as a major retailer adopts Bitcoin. And we even have Bitcoin-backed mortgages coming. Lots of exciting stuff, so make sure to stick around to the end of the video to get all of the goods. My name is Lark. Every day I make videos talk about cryptocurrency investing. So if that's the topic you'd like to learn some more about, maybe just stay up to date with, then you should definitely subscribe to the Lark Davis channel. Also, if you can take a quick second to tap on that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm, that would be super awesome. And of course, if you'd like to receive a notification when I put out a new video, you should click on that notification bell. By the way, if you are a cryptocurrency trader, then you need to get yourself an account over on Femex. You can long and short all of the top cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Tezos, Dogecoin, Cardano. They got all of the good stuff. Use the link down below to start your account. You will receive 10% off of your trading fees and up to $3,600 in trading bonuses. So go ahead and check that out using the first link in the description. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the price of Bitcoin. Not a lot is happening. That's what we got to say. Bitcoin, you're boring. You're boring, Bitcoin. What are you doing? Not a lot is currently happening for Bitcoin, which is actually kind of cool. I don't mind these boring times for Bitcoin because when Bitcoin is boring, what does that mean? It is a time where you can start accumulating Bitcoin. And I personally just love those accumulation periods. Allows you to average into your positions. Of course, as I mentioned, I bought some more Bitcoin around $47,000. If we do drop down again, I will buy some more Bitcoin. There is still the chance that we do come down to retest this key area of support around $42,500. So if that happens, I would be a buyer in that situation. Currently, though, we are holding up on the 200-day simple moving average. Got our big symmetrical triangle here that could give us a decent breakout to potentially try to break that trend line, or of course, come down here to retest the areas of support. But we are running out of space in our triangle here very, very quickly, so be curious to see how that plays out with Bitcoin just continuing to wind up, basically getting ready for a move. Perhaps we'll see a bit of volatility coming in over the weekend. But man, I would love to see us break out of this downtrend. It would be nice to finally have that happen. We've, it's been a long 4 weeks since, the price topped out and we've been in this downtrend. One of these days, we'll get back up there, guys. No, it's fine. Like I said, I enjoy these periods, actually. Cools things down a bit in the market, which is always a bit nice, to be honest. So very curious to see how this is going to be playing out over the next few days. Now, let's get into the big news. And we've got some just crazy big news stories today. The first one is that Russia is going to ban or not ban cryptocurrencies. So Reuters ran an article earlier today saying that Russia is banning Bitcoin. The central banks come out and said, yeah, we're going to ban Bitcoin. We're going to, make that happen. And then, of course, the same day we actually had, people from the finance ministry and stuff saying that, well, positive cryptocurrency regulation is going to be a good thing. It's good for Russia, et cetera, et cetera. You have these feuding camps within the Russian government, the Russian central bank on one side, which has basically always wanted to ban Bitcoin. And then you have the finance ministry and politicians within the Russian government who want to see cryptocurrencies being adopted within Russia. They want to see positive regulations coming out that will allow Russia to take advantage of this massive potential market. The Russia FUD is essentially the same as like India FUD. It seems that every few months Russia is going to ban Bitcoin again. It's the same way every few months India is going to ban Bitcoin again. Unfortunately, China actually did go the massive crackdown route. Obviously, nobody can actually stop Bitcoin. There's still a massive black market for Bitcoin within China. And the Russian central bank, their logic here as well, look, people are using cryptocurrencies to avoid taxes. Yes, that will be true. But if they actually regulated it and provided regulatory clarity and said, okay, these are the guidelines, this is the reporting measures and all this stuff, they would probably have a lot less of that. But if they ban it, then it's 100% underground. And It will exclusively be used for those kind of purposes because you're not going to stop it. You can't shut down the internet completely in Russia. And as long as there is an internet connection, people will find a way. Pandora's box has been opened. Chaos has been released. There's no putting Bitcoin back in the box. There's no putting crypto back in the box. Russians want access to games. They want access to DeFi. They want access to Bitcoin. You can't stop it, Russian central bank. So just stop trying. The next story is about Bitcoin-backed mortgages, which is a pretty gosh darn cool concept. So crypto lender Ledin, they have raised $70 million for their Series B round. Now, particularly they're talking here about their Bitcoin-backed mortgage products. So if you can imagine being able to take your Bitcoin and use it as collateral for a mortgage, that's game-changing stuff right there. That is game-changing stuff. Now, obviously, I would love to see a decentralized version of that happening. Ledin is a centralized lender. However, still a massive adoption story. If you think about the ability for cryptocurrency holders to be able to take their crypto and use it as collateral to buy a freaking house. That's big, big stuff. This, again, is another one of those things that makes crypto more of a real, tangible, actual asset for people in their minds in terms of saying, well, I can actually take my Bitcoin and use it to back a mortgage. It's huge news, and huge application potential. Obviously, the mortgage industry is super, super massive. And what this allows you to do, so if you've had, some Bitcoin since it was $1,000 or whatever, and you're up massively, but you don't want to sell your Bitcoin because you know it's going to go to $1 million one of these days, well, you can use this product to actually get yourself a house. Don't have to be living under a bridge anymore. You don't have to sell your Bitcoin either. So it's a good thing. We also had Nexo, another centralized lender, teaming up with Three Arrows Capital, launching actually an NFT lending desk. So currently just with Bored Ape Yacht Club and CryptoPunks, but again, pretty gosh darn big news because that means that if you're a Bored Ape Yacht Club holder or a CryptoPunk holder, again, you don't have to sell your asset in order to get money for it. You can actually just take out a loan versus your CryptoPunk. Let's say you need $50,000 to do something short term. You just need some cash, but you really don't want to sell your CryptoPunk. Well, now you can do that. You can use, again, a centralized lender here to actually make that happen for you. Go get a cash loan, do whatever you need to do, pay the cash loan back, get your CryptoPunk or your Bored Ape back, and of course they'll add more collections in the future. So this kind of lending I think is very important for the NFT market, just as the Bitcoin-backed mortgages I think is very important for the Bitcoin market. Next news story here, Electra, a Mexican retail and financial corporation, has become the first retailer in Mexico to accept Bitcoin. Big news, big news. It's a $15 billion company. So it's a pretty big deal to see a large company like this actually saying, you know what, we'll take Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is accepted. Aceptamos Bitcoin aquí. Nice, nice. I like it. All these adoption stories are incredibly important because the more we can make Bitcoin real for people, the more it becomes real for people. 5 years ago, almost nowhere accepted Bitcoin. Now you have an increasing amount of retailers and online shops that are accepting Bitcoin. Tesla even announced that they're going to start accepting Dogecoin for their merchandising, buy a hat or something using Dogecoin, but they still have not re-enabled buying a car using Bitcoin, unfortunately. But that being said, this is a great story here because this allows people to do stuff like go out, play games, so play your play to earn game, and then walk down to the local store, flip your in-game currency over to some Bitcoin, and then come down to the store and buy some stuff. Come down, buy a 6-pack of cervezas or, some food, whatever you want. This is great. This is great. The more shops do this, the more retailers do this, the more retailers that will do this, right? It becomes a self-fulfilling thing. The more we have, the more we will get because it becomes totally normalized. Very positive story. So great to see. Final story for today. Federally insured credit unions in the USA can now partner up with Bitcoin providers to be able to buy, sell, and hold Bitcoin. That's massive. That's massive. Absolutely massive story, because credit unions in the US are very big. There's a lot of them. They're very popular. Those credit unions can now start offering Bitcoin to their customers. Now, this is just yet another story in a long year of stories about massive Bitcoin adoption at a financial, traditional legacy financial level in the United States. We've seen multiple partnerships coming out where small regional banks, big banks, credit unions, all this different providers can offer access for their clients to get Bitcoin. It's massive. And of course, we just covered the big story out of Germany the other day, where 50 million Germans are now going to be able to buy Bitcoin at their local banks. Crazy big story. Crazy big story. This news story out of the USA, again, more money can come into the market. What do you need to have a bull run continue? You need more money being able to enter the market. That is exactly what these stories do. The German story, or any of the other stories we covered earlier this year about like the New York Digital Investment Group, making all these big partnerships with different banks, or like the PayPal stories, the Cash App, all this stuff, all of it paints a picture where more money can come into the markets. More people can get their hands on Bitcoin. And every extra dollar you can bring into the market is a positive thing for the long-term health of Bitcoin, because it means you get more people holding Bitcoin, more people getting their hands on Bitcoin. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So this is a very big story coming out of the USA. Now, of course, what you need is adoption. Much like many of the other stories we covered, the rails have been laid. We don't have a lot of trains going down them yet. We've had a few small like regional banks and stuff say, yeah, we're going to start doing that. We're going to start offering these products to our customers. But it's important that you build the rails first, because if you don't have the rails to be able to do this, then no credit union will offer Bitcoin, because they're going to feel like, well, I can't do that. But with the rails built, then they feel like, well, maybe we're not going to do that yet. We'll watch and see if somebody else does it first. And one of the other credit unions, they're going to be the first guys to do it. And then another credit union will do it. And then they'll go, well, seems like the water's okay. We'll jump in too. We already have two other big credit unions who have proven that you can do that. It's not that scary, and it's popular. People want these products. Big stuff, guys. Big stuff. It's funny because the price of Bitcoin's been relatively boring over the last few weeks, which is fine. Bitcoin's still up over 100% or whatever this year. And the crazy thing is that we just keep seeing adoption stories rolling in. And what's good for Bitcoin is good for the gander, so to speak, because the more Bitcoin adoption stories we get, the better it is for the entire cryptocurrency space. It lifts, Bitcoin is the tide that lifts all boats, or crashes all boats sometimes as well, in crypto. So all these adoption stories that are going to allow trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars to potentially enter into the Bitcoin market is good for the entire crypto market. Anyway, just my 2 Satoshis for the day. Your question: would you consider taking a Bitcoin-backed mortgage? Interesting idea. Let me know your opinion down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.